Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Gary Davis. You know, the entire city limits of Cleveland and every inch of it would not be successful if it weren't for our partnership with the county, because we are all Bradley Countyans. So Mayor Davis, thank you for being here today, and your entire team. I guess they're taking notes. I'm incredibly grateful to have the opportunity to talk about the city that we love so much. I'm very grateful for this large number of people on this first meeting of the year. I see many friends, and welcome to all the guests. And I'm incredibly grateful for the team at the city. Seth Sumner is here, and Joe Fivas, our city manager, who helped put all this data together. And I'm grateful for the team here, Andrea and Rob, who got it all working on the system. We have so much to be thankful for. Chaplain Ray, thank you for that devotion at the beginning of the meeting. I can count more than 3 things that I'm thankful for in 2024, and that's what we're here to talk about today, just for a few moments. None of this would have been possible, none of the growth. Oh, and by the way, Councilman Dan Moore, thank you for being here. And County Commissioner Mylan Blake is here as well. We all work together. None of this would have been possible had we not gotten our financial house in order. And I have so much appreciation for the council, both the current council and the previous council, my predecessor, Mayor Rowland, who sort of set us up to be able to have great success. When the current council came into office, there was a large amount of our debt, in fact, 65%. Our Rhodes is shaking his head. 65% of our debt was variable, meaning we didn't know from season to season, quarter to quarter, to all my banker friends in town, what our debt payments were going to be. It was fluctuating. Very difficult to make a budget, very difficult to know how much money we have of your money to make it possible for improvements around town. We grabbed it by the horns, and we're able to get 95% now of our debt is fixed. Most of that debt below 2.5%, which today would be almost impossible to get. And so I'm so grateful. What that did and what the council's action did is now make it possible for the improvements, for the infrastructure, for all the success that you're going to see today. And I'm incredibly grateful that we're able to do that. Part of what we're able to do when you have your budget under control, you're able to invest in safety and security. And we have a top 3% police department with CALEA rating. We have a top 3% fire department with our ISO rating of number 2. And I'm incredibly grateful that we have multiple new police officers, multiple new firefighters. Again, getting our financial house in order allows us to have these great investments in what keeps us safe and keeps our homes and families safe, and it's a great investment. I'm going to put my glasses on. Another thing that we were able to launch this year, in the last year, was LPRs, license plate readers. Now, all of us have gotten the 2 o'clock in the morning Amber Alert on our phones that wakes us up in the middle of the night. When those Amber Alerts or Silver Alerts or any of those alerts that come across, if that person is driving at one of our exits, 20, 25, 27, which are all state and federal highways, these LPRs provided to us with these grants that we were able to get notify the 911 center immediately. If someone is missing, if someone is being sought, if someone shouldn't be here, the very first people that will know when they exit one of our exits into the Cleveland city limits is going to be the 911 center. Just another way that we're keeping everybody safe, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. Again, all of these infrastructure improvements are because of the financial stability that we're finding in the city. We're in year 2 of the Build Cleveland Future Initiative. It's a $138 million infrastructure plan over a 3-year period. It being in year number 2, I'm so thankful that we can see the progress. We can see the benefits of this plan. Oh, and by the way, without having to raise taxes, Mayor Davis's favorite line. So I'm incredibly grateful that without raising taxes, without having any kind of painful restructuring, we were able to accomplish what we believe is the largest infrastructure improvement in the history of Cleveland. Those include the Mouse Creek interchange and intersection, the Highway 60 project, which is rapidly completing, the new Inman Street and Gott Street sidewalk projects, which is under construction right now, the long-awaited Candies Creek Greenway project, and soon Peerless intersection improvements on both sides of Peerless, on the public side on Paul Huff Parkway and on the 25th side at the former Elders Ace Hardware. So we're going to fix Peerless on both sides, and we're very excited about that. Again, without raising taxes. One of the most anticipated and highly anticipated, well, there's a great picture of the ribbon cutting, is the Inman Street project. Thank God it's open. I'll just be honest with you. It was closed a long time, and I'm right there with you. I drove here just like you did every Tuesday for lunch. I was here all the time, just like you were, but I'm so thankful that it was able to be opened. And for the first time in 70 years, we have a 10-foot sidewalk on both sides, giving incredible walkability to downtown. This new pedestrian-friendly corridor, the new thermoplastics, that's a word that Seth taught me, at all the intersections, the decorative street lamps, and 34 Princeton ginkgo trees have been planted along Inman Street to celebrate what we continue after 31 years as a tree city. Things continue to improve and things continue to be upgraded, and I'm very grateful. One of the reasons that we're able to have these improvements and these benefits to our city is the amazing growth and the amazing number of corporations that are choosing. I am very thankful that Mayor Davis and I communicate often with our Industrial Development Board, and President of the Chamber, Mike Griffin, is here, and we have these meetings where we have to meet and agree on how to get the incentive packages right for these new industries. And I'm very thankful that in 2023 and 2024, we were number 8 out of 160 Tier 3 metros. We were the top 3 best city to move to in the state of Tennessee. And surprisingly, in 2024, it was announced that the year prior, 2023, Bradley County, the city of Cleveland, was the #1 state for new job commitments in manufacturing industry in the state of Tennessee. We beat Nashville. Thank you. We beat Nashville, we beat Knoxville, we beat Memphis, we beat Chattanooga. It was incredible. I remember, I think it was Doug Barry that sent us sort of a word that this was coming, and Joe Fivas announced it to the council, and I was very, very grateful, and I said, but I'm not going to talk about it or tweet about it until somebody sends it to me in writing. And it was months before the state actually posted it officially, but we were so thankful and talked about it at great length. A number of those companies that are coming talk about the reason that they chose Cleveland was our quality of life. As Mayor Davis and I interact with these companies, it is amazing to me how many of them, S&K Foods Group, that this is their largest plant in all of North America. Canon Automotive from Canada, Amero Industries, the new group from Australia with the titanium powder coating for the defense industry. All of these companies had one similar thing in common. They all talked about it, and going as far back as Wacker when they talked to us, quality of life. And when they see the parks and recreation and the greenways and the things that the city of Cleveland is committed to doing for our residents, they said this is the kind of community that we want to be a part of. Included in the park and the renovations this year was the newly renovated Civitan Inclusive Park, and I can tell you it is a jewel of the city over in front of the Stewart School. The brand new Jim Sharp Park, which is under construction right now on Candies Lane, thanks to the generosity of a benefactor, Ron and Pam Barker, who donated the land. It's being named in honor of Jim Sharp, a very prominent developer, and is going to be connected to the Greenway parking lot on Candies. A lot of people ask, where are people going to park? They'll park on one side and traverse under the viaduct to the park. And of course, our largest park, Tinsley Park, we are adding 18 pickleball courts as we speak. And no, it is not a sanctuary that we're building in the middle of the park. I get a lot of Church of God questions about that. Is it a church? No, it is not. It is the championship pickleball courts that are covered and lighted. And now that we have those 18 new courts, if you transfer the current tennis courts, it gives us about 22 to 24, which is the number we have to have for world-class tournaments, which we hope to bring to Cleveland and have a great return on all of this investments. I'm told, Gary, this might be your neck of the woods, your day. Back in the day, we were the softball tournament capital of Tennessee, and hundreds of teams would come from all over to compete in Cleveland. We want to bring that back and be the pickleball tournament championship city of Tennessee, and that's one of our exciting goals. Included in all the park renovations, and Kyle Cooper's got a great picture. Kyle, I wish you could airdrop it to this presentation of his kids enjoying the park this Christmas. But the Johnston Park reimagination and the refresh, it opened in November, thank God, just in time for the holidays. 1,100 new plantings. The gazebo, which was refurbished back to its original design, and we're so thankful for that. And the lights and the music, and I'll go ahead and apologize, Bill Brown, if that music is too loud, but it's festive, that's what we'll say. Okay, well, that's your noise machine. It cancels out the jackhammers across the way. And I'll accept that. Development across the city has just been at an amazing rate, and I'm so thankful for that. And a record number, it was on the front cover of the banner today. Thank you, Tim, for that. We had a record number of permits in December. Actually, housing permits were larger than business permits, but total 483 residential at $113 million in value, 112 commercial permits at $98 million in value. Together, a record year of 2024. That's one of my three, David. $212 million in city building permits for the city of Cleveland. It's just wonderful. 3 new hotels, one of which I think is Katz. Welcome. We have wonderful new Food City on Highway 60 and the beautiful new Weigel's gas station. And there are just so many other wonderful things, wonderful new additions to our city. And I'm very thankful. One of the refurbishments to our city, it's not new, it's the back alley art gallery was totally refreshed thanks to a grant that we received, and the First Street Square banners were redone in honor of local artists including Billy Nipper, and I'm so grateful that that is such a great vibrant part of downtown in the First Street Square. So many fun things happen, including other announcements. I talked earlier at Jamie Kyle's Business Owners. I don't see Jamie because Jamie's already heard all this. But wonderfully, we have a sports tourism feasibility study going on with our partners at the county and the Chamber of Commerce. We believe it is a very important part going forward in the city of Cleveland to have this study done to prove the importance and the revenue capabilities of having world-class sports tourism facilities. And it is very much in the radar of the city going forward. Another tool that was in our toolbox from the state legislature is the Land Bank Authority. Interestingly, we are one of only 4 cities in the state of Tennessee that legislatively have the right to create these land bank authorities. What's a land bank? It helps us at the city as a tool in our toolbox with blighted or derelict properties. We have properties around town that have been abandoned. The ownership, the families could have either died, passed away, left the city, and we have to find a way to fix these properties and get them back onto the tax rolls. And I know David Goodwill and his team are doing an amazing job, both at the Blythe and the College Hill communities. And it's amazing what this land bank and the capabilities going forward that this is going to give the city. It is true, we are under contract for what you and I call the Whirlpool property. It's all of this property here and all of this green space here. These buildings are artist renderings of what could be, and we have already begun talking about what is possible in the future in this area. It is right now not the most beautiful part of town, I get it, but the developers that we've talked with and the people that have already expressed interest to us, it's amazing what potential is out there for both downtown urban living, recreational facilities, sports arenas, other areas. We think this is going to be a wonderful complement to the old woolen mill area, and we're very, very, very excited about it. Part of this process are some wonderful grants. In addition to the grant that we got for the renovation, $500,000 for the Cherokee Hotel, the Summit Building for the city center, we also received 2 very large grants from the Biden administration for transportation. One is the Railroad Crossing Elimination Grant. Has anybody heard about a little bridge that we keep getting run into on Inman Street? Believe it or not, yeah, I don't know why people do that either. But believe it or not, that's a railroad crossing that you're going under the Norfolk Southern train tracks. So this Railroad Crossing Elimination Grant allows us to dream the dream of moving and having this crossing on 3rd Street. So if you think about, I may not draw this correctly, but if you think about this right here, starting way up there at Starbucks and coming through downtown and crossing over, and this is the bridge right here. And so instead of going under and risking your truck or your Lee University Symphonic Band truck, with love, as my alma mater, instead of risking your truck driving underneath the bridge, just think of a beautiful flyover bridge that would deposit you right into what we all now call the Whirlpool property. And I think it's going to be a game changer. It was actually part of the frustration, and since we're all friends, we're fellow Rotarians. You know, it was frustrating to see all of the less than positive comments on Facebook about the Inman Street redesign, the Inman Street reimagination of the changing of the lanes. We think it's going to be great, but reading all of those comments, I felt like Paul Harvey and they had not read page 2. Because all of those newspaper stories, Tim did a great job, all of those articles always included what was next, which is the 3rd Street and the bridge and the flyover, but it seems like no one seemed to read page 2. When we get this done, not if, when we get this done, I believe it's going to change the way people traverse downtown. Inman Street can again be a residential / commercial, walkable shopping, food, entertainment area, safe to walk on, and the 3rd Street can be as much as a 3 or 4 lane bypass, overpass, and the folks that want to get through downtown Cleveland quickly, boy, have we got an opportunity for you. It's going to be great. In addition to all of this, again, the looking forward on 2025, the 25th Street improvements, we are going to have a wonderful partnership with the state of Tennessee. We agree, 25th Street needs some work. Trying to turn left across traffic to get to Dunkin' Donuts, which I don't go to very often, honey. It's Cleveland Utilities, that's where I'm going. Or turning the opposite direction, coming from the interstate, trying to turn into the street that connects to Cracker Barrel or McDonald's. We get it. All of that could be much better. So the state has said, we agree with you, and they're going to help us with all the J turns. So you're going to see a tremendous amount of improvement in 2025. In addition to that, the Welcome to Phoenix, all the rock down the middle, we're going to try to make that look a little more Cleveland-like, a little greener. Sorry. Never understood that, but we're going to fix it, and we're going to make it beautiful and have more trees and plantings and make it look like Cleveland. In fact, we're going to fix the Welcome to Cleveland sign, I understand, and I'm looking forward to that. But the thing I'm looking most forward to is a 10-foot walkable pathway, just like the one on Inman Street, reaching basically from Georgetown and the bridge at 75 all the way down 25th Street, which truly is our gateway to the city, and going all the way down to Keith Street. Joe, am I right? Terminus at Keith? Yes. So when that happens, and we know it, people are walking on it right now, and it's just unsafe. And so I think it's going to be a great way to improve the gateway to our town, and I'm very thankful for it. Other improvements in 2025, I mentioned the Peerless, both the Paul Huff side and the 25th Street side. And yes, we have it on the docket, paving Paul Huff Parkway. It needs to be done. I agree. Ever since our friends at Chattanooga Gas came and kind of ripped up the middle of it. But the good news is the contract that Chattanooga Gas signed with us, giving permission for them to do that, included for them to pay for a tremendous amount of the repaving and to fix it. So in combination with some other grants and Chattanooga Gas's penalty for damaging the road, we're going to be able to have a beautifully, totally repaved, basically all the way from the interstate all the way to Stewart Road. And I think that's going to be great. Greenway Phase 6 and long-awaited Greenway Phase 6. Chairman of the Greenway, Cameron Fisher, thanks for your patience. I think it's going to be great when we get it connected, especially when, as fellow Rotarians, we're able to upgrade that entire area, which includes the Rotary Park, the Rotary Arch, again from Willow Street, going to Starbucks, going under the street and coming up, and hopefully connecting to this wonderful 3rd Street connector that we talked about a few slides ago. More going forward in 2025. The much needed and long awaited improvements and widening of Michigan Avenue and Minnis Road. Tremendous amount of development in that area. It's become one of the most popular subdivision corridors, heavily residential. And for many, many decades, it's just been a 2-lane road. In fact, it was a 2-lane farm road that we have got to get improved. And I'm thankful, including a light at 20th Street. I asked Mr. Fibus if we could put the light in first, and he said, no, we got to fix the road and then we'll do the light. Heading up Michigan Avenue towards the airport, the Jetport expansion of hangars. As I am told today, there is a waiting list of people who have paid a significant amount of money to be on a list for 2 years to get a hangar at Cleveland Jetport. It is, sorry? Over 50 people. Andrew, maybe one of them, because he yelled that out. So, well, we're hurrying, Andrew, I promise.
Number 9.
You're number 9. Okay. Lucky number 9 on the list of 2 years of waiting. We can't build these hangars fast enough. It is such a wonderful problem to have, and we are looking forward to that expansion. There's a couple of Army Corps stormwater projects. One is right across this street and sidewalk from the Champy's restaurant. You all know what that is. That's going to lead all the way down to Tinsley. The other one is the Weeks Drive area, Clearwater Drive. There's actually 4 Army Corps projects that are in the future, but 2 of them will be underway in 2025. We will continue with our downtown beautification. We will continue with all of these improvements and the new Greenway Nature Park. Now this, for us old guys in the room, this is the old bottom of the Rolling Hills golf course that has been sort of down towards, at the end of Candies towards Free Will, and upgrading that and making it part of the Greenway into a beautiful nature park at South Rolling Hills. Again, really looking forward to that. I'm hurrying so we can have time for questions. We are so grateful to hear from our constituents and to hear from you all, our voters. And I like to go one step further and say our boss. We work for you. So we always invite and enjoy as much communication as we can possibly receive from you all. But there's one way that we can encourage that, and that is to be more communicative with you all. And so we're very grateful that we have started a monthly podcast. Seth Sumner and the team at the Alderman Group have been very helpful in getting that rolling. And I think we're 2 episodes in and looking forward to that. It's incredibly enjoyable. You may not know it, I just like to talk. And so it's incredibly enjoyable for me to hear from folks when we have these podcasts. In addition to that, Councilman Moore and the other members of the council are going to be having videos on the YouTube channel. We're pulling Cleveland, Tennessee and our city government into the 21st century, kicking and screaming, but we're having fun. And it's great. And if you have not seen the videos on YouTube or heard the podcasts, I would encourage you to take a look at that at fireside.fm, 5 Points with the mayor, and named, ironically, right where we're standing here, the 5 Points area of our city. Go ahead, don't count the points, because Seth tells me I'm supposed to have 5 points on that podcast, and I never get that right. So once you get to telling stories, it's just great. David, again, thank you for that incredible devotion about how much we have to be thankful for. I, among all of us, am the most thankful. I am thankful for our city. I am thankful for good health. I am thankful for good financial standing that we now have that makes all of this growth and improvement possible. And was at my friends, Chairman Tucker and Dr. Elliott's school board meeting last night, and to hear about the growth and to hear about the things that are happening literally at every level of our city, from our kindergarten classrooms all the way to our senior living homes. Everyone is growing and everyone is excited to be a part of the city of Cleveland. You all make it so fun to be the mayor.